Hello there, thanks so much for tuning in. So I'm Tim, this is my Carbon Coach, and it's a channel all about sustainable living, from life up here on my allotment where I am very much still a beginner, to life in my little eco shop here in Taunton, providing the local community with sort of sustainable living items, advice, all of that kind of good stuff. So today I've got my work cut out. You've probably seen from the majority of shop videos and lack of allotment videos that the weather just hasn't been great for getting up here. So that's all going to change today, and I'm just going to do a couple of little projects along with just some maintenance, like shearing the borders, that kind of stuff. But the main thing is this here, which actually looks like it just blends into the pathway, used to be my wildflower bed, and it's just overgrown. It's just a collection of grasses now, so it's time to do something with it, and this is going to become my new strawberry bed. So I've been down to Wilko's, I've picked up a few bags of their strawberry plugs, I believe that they're called. So basically today is going to be digging this out and getting those in the ground so that they're, fingers crossed, good to go for providing some strawberries this summer. What I also want to do in the background is tidy up the seating bench area. It's looking a little overrun. I've got some absolutely beautiful flowers though, some bulbs that are popped up, hyacinths, and goodness knows what else. To be honest, I'm awful at remembering A, what I've done, and B, identifying stuff that I haven't done. So part of the fun of it, isn't it? So first thing to do for me is going to be to get the fork out and start digging this over. First thing for you to do, if you'd like though, is to tap that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. Okay, so that's that done. So yeah, that took a little while, all of this morning, but the grass is all dug out. Actually dug out quite nicely, to be fair, and that's a really good sized bed. It gets a little bit weird and a bit shallow towards the back, sort of by the side of the shed, and I haven't dug around the side of the shed yet. We're just going to pretend that that isn't there. What I also did was we did the path, and I thought it would be good actually, because this path was the very first thing that I did when I got the allotment way back in January of 2020. If you want to see me making this path out of the mess that was my plot when I inherited it, there'll be a card in one of these two corners. So don't have a car. I've managed to lug up one bag of wood chip from Wickes, which is just down the road, so it's not too bad. But over the next few nights on my way home from work, I'll get another bag, and this path will be refreshed after 3 years. Blimey, has it really been 3 years almost? Well, a bit more. Time is weird, isn't it? Anyway, enough with that. Also, what I've been doing is slightly tidying my shed. I don't know if you can see into there. It's still a mess. It's awful. I need to get some shelves up. I need to brush all the cobwebs away and all of that kind of good stuff. But that can wait for another day, because, like I said, I've got these strawberries to berry. So there's 3 per pack. I've got 4 packs, that's 12 strawberries, and these are El Santas from Wilko's. No idea how well they're going to go, but it's worth a try, isn't it? And hopefully they'll take root, maybe, and then hopefully over the next couple of years they'll start sending out some nice runners and really fill this bed up. What I actually want is just strawberries at the start, and then sort of leaning up against the side of the shed is I'd love to have a blueberry bush, something like that, or even cherries. Imagine having a cherry tree. I think that'd be incredible, having my own cherries and blueberries. Absolutely amazing. We can but dream. Also, why I picked this bed is because I'm on sort of the curve of the barrier. So this is the roadway pathway that goes around to all the other allotments. So what I'm going to do is get some stakes along the edge here. We can't really put fences up. I don't really want to put a fence up either, but if I put some stakes along the outside curve and then along this path border here as well, then that will give me a nice sort of, yes, that's the edge of my plot, but also something to put netting over to protect the goodies. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly mark out where these are going in, 12 inches apart, 30 centimeters. I should really keep a ruler up here in the shed. That would be handy for planting widths. So I'm just going to eyeball it, get some holes sort of dug, and then I'll pop these in once that's all sorted. there we go, that is 12 strawberry plugs in the ground. Some of them had little leaves, were starting to show leaves, so I've done my best to leave those poking out. Some of them had no growth coming out of them. The bag recommended a 5-inch hole, so that's roughly what I've done, and we'll just have to keep our fingers crossed that that works out. They're spread out nicely. I actually, when I was cleaning out the shed, I found another block of Koya compost that was hiding in there from last year, the bargains that I found at Morrison's. So I've soaked and expanded that, and I've just sprinkled it over the top as a, I don't know whether that counts as a mulch or not, who knows. But anyway, I'm really excited to get the fruit bed underway. It only goes up to about there, so I've got another 2 or 3 foot, about a metre and a bit left of space there. So potentially there is chance for me to maybe get the blueberry bush on the go, or just thinking off the top of my head, I'd love to get some rhubarb back in here. There was a rhubarb that I inherited way back, like at the start 2020, and we used it, made some amazing things, rhubarb gin mainly, and there's lots of gin on this channel, isn't there? But that would be great to get that in there in its sort of permanent home. That would be, oh hello Mr. B. I don't know if you can see, just here where the door is, there's a little hole where there presumably was a door handle on it. There's not one now anymore. I just kind of wrench it open with my fingers. But yeah, that seems to attract a lot of attention from bees wanting to make it their home. I'm super chuffed that the plot already at the start of spring is already attracting and helping lots and lots of bees and insects already. That's exactly sort of one of the aims of this was to be. Anyway, before I go off on many other tangents and continue waffling, I'll sign the video off there. Thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, actually being up here on the allotment for a change, getting back to my roots, literally. All that's left to ask is if you could please do the usual YouTube business if you haven't already, giving it a thumbs up, tapping subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel already. If you don't mind notifications, ringing that bell would really help. And please drop a comment down below. What are your fruit goals for this year? Do you have any? Have you had successes last year that you're hoping to replicate this year? Or anything, growing anything interesting or exciting or exotic maybe? I would love to hear from you down below. All that's left to say is that until next time, please take care of yourselves, take care of your plots and the planet, and have a fantastic week everyone. Cheers.